Hi, welcome to Driving TV, and I hope you are well. And in this video, we are going to talk about the driving test in the UK.
Right.
You okay?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah.
Just talking with my friend Kev. How are you, Kev? You okay?
Morning.
Okay, I see. Okay, I'm going for a walk. Okay.
Okay.
So, what do we need for the driving test? In my channel, I have talked about the test many times in many different ways, in many topics. But today, I'm just going for a walk. Then I thought I'd give you a reminder about the test. Firstly, the reason we learn to drive is because in the end, we want to pass the driving test. This is the reason why we are learning, and that's the reason why we are taking driving lessons, is to pass the driving test at the end. Now, just because we want to pass, it doesn't mean we're going to pass. So first thing you need to do when you go to the driving test, before you even think of booking a driving test, make sure you ask the question, are you ready for the driving test? Don't book the test yet. Because many learners, what they do is they forget that it's them who's going to need to take the driving test. And they're always asking the driving instructor or the person who's helping them to learn to drive, they're always asking them, can I go to the test? Can I go to the test? Can I book the driving test? You should be asking yourself, are you ready? Because you're the one who's taking the driving test, not your driving instructor, and not your family members, not your friends. It's you. Are you ready? Ask the question. Can you drive the car by yourself without any help from anyone? That's the question you need to ask. Don't even ask your driving instructor, because they will tell you when you're ready. But ask the question to yourself. Are you ready? Can you drive the car by yourself without any help from anyone? That's the question you need to ask, because the whole purpose, the reason you're going to the test is to pass the driving test. And the only time you're going to pass is when you could drive the car by yourself without any help from anyone. And this is when you should be thinking of booking a driving test. So if I were you, I wouldn't even think of applying for the test unless I'm fully ready. So don't book the test unless you know you are fully ready for the test. So that's the first important thing. That's the first advice I would give you. Next is, do I have to go to the test with a driving instructor, or can I go to the test with my own car? Of course, you don't have to go to the test with a driving instructor. You could go to the test with your own car, family member's car, friend's car, as long as the car is legal for you to drive, meaning the car has the MOT, it has tax, and most importantly, it is insured for you to drive the car. So that's important. Okay, so make sure the car is legal for you to take. Secondly, just because you could take your family member's car or your car to the test, it doesn't mean you could just drive there by yourself. Make sure you haven't passed the driving test yet. So you can't go to the test driving by yourself. You will need somebody sitting next to you who has a driving license, who's been driving for last 3 years, or who held a driving license for last 3 years. So don't go to the test center by yourself. And like I said, the car should be legal for you to take. Also, it has the L plate, one at the front, one at the back. So you should have L plates on in the UK for you to go to the driving test, one at the front, one at the back. Now the dual control, you're probably thinking, well, my driving instructor will have a dual control in his car or her car. If I take my car or my family member's car, it's not going to have a dual control. That's fine. You don't need a dual control vehicle for you to take a driving test. If you take it in your own car, you're not going to have a dual control. That's fine. That's okay. As long as, like I said, it is taxed, MOT'd, and it has insurance for you to take, and also L plate, one at the front, one at the back. Now, what document do I need to take with me? You only need your driving license. That's all you need. Make sure you take your driving license with you. If you don't take your driving license with you, you won't be able to do the driving test. So make sure you take the license with you. So as long as you have your driving license with you, you will be fine. You will be able to take the driving test. Now, what time is the best time for me to take the driving test? Now, I have said this before, I prefer midday, around 1:30. I feel is the best time. Now, you might have a different opinion, which is fine. You could have a different opinion. Maybe you like to do it in the morning, in the afternoon, late afternoon. It's up to you, whenever you feel you are ready, or the time that you feel is best for you. I feel midday because morning, always a rush hour. People going to work, school, people are cutting corners. So it's best to avoid that. And after 3 is always the problem, same again, which is school closing and all that. So I prefer 1 o'clock, 1:30. But like I said, we all have our own opinions. If you feel you could do it in the morning, you prefer in the morning, get it out and done with, that's fine. Afternoon, it's okay. But I feel 1:30 is the best time. The other thing about booking an early morning, I feel, is that if you book the test too early, then the problem is it doesn't allow you to sleep the night before. Why? Because you are thinking that you've got a test on the morning, you've got an early test in the morning, you might not wake up. And the thought of it doesn't allow you to sleep. So that's another thing if you book a test early morning. So I'll try to avoid, if I were you, too early. But like I said, it's up to you. The only problem I feel if it's too early is that it won't allow you to sleep the night before, and you need some sleep. You need some peace night before because you got to test the next day. So that could be a problem if you do it too early morning. Next, on the day of your test, go for a walk, because that's going to give you the peace of mind. It's going to make your mind more clearer. It's going to give you that energy for you to do the test. So if I were you, I would go for a walk, have a good breakfast, have a shower, so you are ready. Your mind is ready, your body is ready. You want to make sure that you do everything you need to do to make sure that you are ready for the test, to do the test. You need your body to start working for the test. So walking is good, having a shower is good, having breakfast is going to give you the energy. Also, do something good if you can. I always say, before the test, try to do something good. This will make you feel good. Whenever we do something good, we feel good. So maybe help your parents, do anything, do something good, help your neighbor, help your friend, do some charity, do something good. Like I said, whenever we do something good, it makes you feel good. We are made in a way, we human, whenever we do something good, we feel good. So try to do something good before the test. This will help you to do good in your test. I remember once one of my learners, he said that, because I always say to my learners before the test, do something good. He said on the day of his test, he was looking forward to do something good. So he woke up in the morning and he couldn't find what to do. So he took the bin out for his mom. And as he was taking the bin out, he saw a cat outside just by the door. So he said he went in and he put some milk on a pot and he fed the cat. And he said, I felt good. So we are human. Whenever we do something good, we feel good. So do something good on the day. This will help you to feel good. And hopefully it will help you to do better in your test. So do something good on the day. Sorry to interrupt. Two things I like to say here very quickly is, number one, thank you so much for your subscription. Because you subscribe, this is the reason why we're here. I always say it's not just my channel, it's our channel. Without you, this channel doesn't exist. So because you subscribed, that's the reason we're here. Your support is really important for us to stay. Without your support, the channel will never grow. So thank you so much for your subscription. Number two, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe and join the 32% who watches the channel and has subscribed. With you subscribing, it will help me to help you more. It will give me the motivation to keep coming with better videos so that I could help you to learn better, help you and others to learn better, to learn to drive and to pass the driving test. So please do subscribe if you watch my channel and if you like the videos. Thank you for listening, and let's get back to the video. Just before the test, have a lesson, hour or two. Just go around the corner. Just go through everything that you think you're weak on. Just drive a little bit. Try to do all the maneuvers if you can. Go through the emergency stop. Go through the questions. Show me, tell me questions. Just go through all that before the test. So just refreshing your mind so that you know that you could do all those things. Try not to do too much though. Maybe hour and a half. 2 hours is okay before the test to practice, but sometimes for some people it is a bit too much. So maybe not too long. You don't want to be too tired. You want to go there and you want to be a little fresh. You want to be fresh for the test. That's the whole purpose. You are doing all that so that you are ready for the moment. You are ready for the test. So you go to the test center and you go and wait in the waiting room. Examiner will come out, call your name. You go, give your license. They will ask you to read and sign for the insurance purpose. And then the examiner will say, show me your way to your car. You go to the car park and you point, this is my car over there. And then examiner will ask you a question about your car. And then the examiner probably will ask you a show me, tell me question before you even enter. First thing they're going to do though is to check your eyesight. Can you read a number plate from a distance of 20 meters? If you can't, that's the end of your test. So make sure if you need glasses or you wear contact lenses, make sure you wear before you go. Because if you can't read a number plate in the distance of 20 meters, you will fail your driving test. So that's the first thing they're going to ask you to do before you even enter the car is can you read a number plate? And they're going to ask you to read a number plate. Secondly, they might ask you a question before you even enter the car, the show me, tell me question. So maybe they might ask you to open the bonnet and then show them something in the bonnet. And the second question they will ask you when you are driving. So when you're driving, they might ask you to put the wiper on, clean the window, open the window. These are the questions they might ask you when you are driving. So make sure when they ask you to do that, don't lose the control of your car, because if you do, you will fail your driving test. Now, if you ask me, can I fail on my show me, tell me questions? No, they won't fail you for even if you say, I don't know. If you get both questions wrong, they won't fail you for that. They'll give you one minor, even if you get both wrong. But the question which is show me, they might say, can you clean the window for me? And as you are doing it, if you lose the control of your car, you will fail your driving test. So make sure when you are asked to do something, to show them something, when you are doing it, be careful and make sure your car is under control. You don't lose the control of the car when you're doing it. Because if you do, you will fail your driving test for that. And now this is the moment when you're going to be ready to start the car and go and drive the car. Okay? Just take a breath, take a moment, take a few seconds, take a deep breath, start the car, and make sure you believe you can. This is the moment. This is your time. This is your time. This is your test. So make sure you believe you can. You can. No one's going to come and do it for you. You've done all the trainings. You paid for the test. You are fully ready. And this is the moment. This is when you're going to go. It's only 40 minutes. You've been driving with the driving instructor for hourly lesson, hour and a half lesson, 2 hour lesson. Now it's only 40 minutes. So just make sure you stay controlled, be focused, and know what you're doing, and just believe you can. Because if you believe you can, you can. When you're doing the test, if you do something wrong, if you did something that you're not happy with, don't give up. I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't just even get that in my head. So if you did something, maybe you did something, maybe you touched the pavement a little bit. Now, does that mean you failed? Well, you don't know, do you? How do you know it's a fail? It's not like you killed someone. It's not like you went through a red light. You don't know. It's not your job to judge whether you pass or you fail. That's not your job. Your job is to do the test. Okay? The examiner's job is to judge. That's their job, not yours. I've said this before and I'll tell you again. There are 3 people involved in a test. There's your driving instructor, the person who helped you to learn to drive. Then there's you, there's the examiner. Your driving instructor has given you everything you need to drive the car. So now you know how to drive the car. Then it's you. Your job is to do the test. And then there's the examiner. Their job is to do the judgment, to see whether you pass or you fail. That's not your job. So don't cross. Your job isn't to judge whether you pass or you fail. Whatever you did in the test, you just carry on. So whatever you do, you never think of giving up. You never think, well, maybe I fell for that, so I'm just going to give up. Because at the end, you might realize that you didn't fail for that. You fell for something after, which meant you've already gave up by then. Can you see what I'm trying to say? At the end, what you thought you failed for, maybe you didn't fail for that. According to the examiner, maybe it's not a fail. You failed for something after. By then, you've already gave up. And that's why you failed. So make sure whatever you do in the test, your job isn't to give up. Your job isn't to judge. Your job is to drive the way you've been asked to drive, the way you've been taught to drive. At the end, you will know whether you pass or you fail. That's not your job. Just drive for 40 minutes. At the end, the examiner will tell you whether you pass or you fail. If you pass, congratulations. If you fail, no problem. You're going to book another test and you're going to go back to the test again and pass. So what I'm trying to say to you is you don't have to pass. If you think you have to pass, that's the problem. Then you will fail because you're putting too much pressure to your mind. You don't want to think that. You want to think that if I fail, I fail, no problem. I'm going to book the test again and I'm going to go and pass the test. That's the thinking. That's the mentality you need to have for you to pass the driving test. You can't just go there thinking, I have to pass. You don't have to pass. Who said you have to pass? If you fail, it just means that it's delayed for you to get a license. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that you can't pass. It just means you have to go back again and pass. That kind of mentality will help you to pass the driving test. Because if you think you have to pass, because if I don't, I've lost all that money, I've lost all that time, my energy. If you think like that, then you probably will fail because you're putting too much pressure to yourself. You don't want to think like that. You just want to keep your mind fresh and not putting your mind under pressure that you have to pass. You don't have to pass. If you think this way, you will pass your driving test because you're not putting any pressure to your mind. Okay? So don't give up and don't think that you have to pass. Go there with open mind and just do what you know. Just give your best performance on the day, your best drive. That's all you could do, and that's what you're going to do on the day. And at the end, I'm sure you'll pass your driving test. So that's all I have to say in this video. I hope the video helps. If it does, please do give a thumbs up. And if you need any help on learning to drive and to pass the driving test, don't forget to take the advantage of our online course, which gives everything a learner needs to learn to drive and to pass a driving test. The course has more than 30 videos in it. So I'll leave a link on the description for you to have a look. Have a look and see and read. If you like it, you could always join the course. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos, and hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.